when we are in struggle, it is so often based in comparison. So today we're going to talk about how to identify when you're in comparison, how to interrupt it, and then ways to return to yourself, to reframe and come back to yourself.
I love this, Dana. Everybody needs this. Really good topic for today. And I think that piece that you're saying at the beginning is people don't realize they're in comparison so frequently. They are, I mean, this happened to me with you at the beginning of this week, is I was just down on Monday and I was sharing that with you during one of our work sessions, and out of the blue, you said, that sounds like comparison. And it never occurred to me that I was in comparison. It just didn't. I just thought it was, a time management issue or sort of I wasn't in, getting things done that I should be getting done, or I wasn't where I wanted to be in certain areas of my life. And it helps so much to have you reflect back to me that might be what it is. It helped me put it back into perspective. So
yeah, it is actually a perfect example of like not even knowing that you're in this piece of compare and despair, or comparing yourself to others, and that is having a negative effect on you.
Yeah.
And I think we just end up there. And like the worst part of that is that we're busy saying like, so-and-so has this, this, and this. Why don't I should have that too. And simultaneously while that's happening, you're actually not on your own timeline and you're not moving forward. You're stalled. And so it can keep you from actually getting to what your this is, by the way. Because what so-and-so, I think what I like to call is like, what Sally B has isn't actually what you want. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
And if you're continuing to focus on how you can get to where Sally B is or get what she has, you are not moving towards what you authentically want.
Yeah, you got off track. Right? You're like, I'm on track. And then, oh, wait, I'm thinking about someone else's track. And that means I'm not on my own track anymore. It's so self-defeating. And especially because we don't realize we're even doing that. We just think we're feeling glitchy. We're just feeling down. We don't even realize we've lost focus on our own track.
Yeah.
So how do we get back?
It's persistent. I mean, it's persistent as hell. Like it is, I often will explain it in this way of like, we have grown up under this pressure of capitalism where the compare actually works as a great function of keeping us either stalled out on getting what we really, really want in this world, which is often freedom. And in this comparison mode of like moving towards what other people seem to have, this like fake goal that keeps us just in this hamster wheel, that capitalism relies on the majority of us being in this hamster wheel, right? So I will talk a lot about this, but like give yourself grace, step off of that timeline and onto your own.
Yeah.
And it is hard because you don't often know like that's what's happening. Right.
This helps me a lot actually, because I hadn't really thought about how freedom fits into this. We're not free unless we are self-sovereign. We're not free unless we are following our own path and achieving what we want to achieve and doing it on our own timeline. So we are not free.
No.
If we are focused on someone else's timeline or focused on what other people have and forgetting what we have and forgetting what we want. Often we're being influenced or thinking that we should want something else other than what we knew we wanted from the beginning. And sometimes we already even have it. So we get completely distracted. And you're right. That's what the consequence is that we're not free because we're not self-sovereign. So interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think it can be complex, like identifying when you're in this place of comparison.
Yeah.
But it also could be very simple, as what's true, what's complex can be simple, is that if you're feeling down, if you're feeling glitchy, like Annie was saying, or I might say crunchy or cranky even, like really asking yourself what's going on, what are you paying attention to? If the answer is that you're paying attention to something that's outside of yourself, unless you're being of service in some way, right?
Yeah.
But outside of yourself, then you're likely comparing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I even have moments in my own life where I'm like, wow, I should have had kids. Now, the thing is, I went through a really long process around whether or not I should have kids way back when. And I came to the conclusion pretty clearly and also pretty lovingly that I didn't and wasn't going to have kids.
Yeah.
Right.
But then but you forget you decided and you're like, I should have had them.
on any given Sunday, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I really miss the boat. But life is over. I know that's dramatic, but like, really like, what is life? I didn't have kids.
Yeah.
Like,
When you already you have what you wanted. You have the decision that you clearly, lovingly, and patiently made for yourself. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh,
Which
it
is,
can be so
I
bad.
didn't have kids. Most often, I'm pretty grateful I don't have my own kids. I also have so many young people in my life that I get to like love and nurture and
Yeah.
but like, man, it is wild that I can
Yeah.
end up in this place that feels just like truth, like
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
truth. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I
Yeah.
really messed up. Didn't have kids. It's like, oh, right. No, that's not true.
So
Like,
we didn't talk about this beforehand, but I think that's our brain playing a trick on us to either distract us from something that feels too scary to want or
mhm,
too tender to look at, that it's not actually that the kid thing is tender, it's that some
mhm,
other thing that you either need to pay attention to or kind of wish you could pay attention to because it's so delicious and yummy that you want it.
yeah,
um, I sometimes think our brain gives us a dilemma like that that is impossible to resolve because the decision has been made. You are happy with it. There's no going back. But your brain is like, maybe we should rethink that, even though there's no resolution.
uh-huh.
And it keeps you the same. It keeps you stuck. So you don't have to do this other thing that's even
Do
more.
anything.
Yeah.
I like to call that reorganizing the or already organized drawer,
Yes. Yes.
which is like, why do I keep doing that? Like, I actually had a partner of mine, we were living together, and she was like, it feels like this is like practically, she's like, it feels like you've organized this drawer so many times, I don't understand. And I just had this moment where I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this rather than launching my coaching practice, which is what was happening way back then, right?
Yeah.
But like, I'm doing this comfortable thing, which is wild to say, but yeah, comfortable to feel miserable rather than feeling vulnerable or even working through the fear of whatever this delicious, lovely thing is that I want in my life
Yeah.
or that I even have in my life and participating in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is this like idea like, okay, I feel out of alignment. I feel glitchy. What's happening? And maybe you just by default be like, what am I comparing myself to? Who am I comparing myself to?
Like use it as a cue to
It's
like
just this
actually
view of
just
like,
do that.
oh, there's something going on. It's likely some version of comparison,
Yeah. I love that. I mean, it's a great place to start interrogating
hmm
why you feel glitchy or crunchy.
hmm
I mean, if you
And
don't want to stay there, then
then, right, if you don't want to be there, like, and sometimes, like the pain has to be bigger than whatever payoff you're getting, whatever you're being protected from.
yeah. Yeah.
Right. So don't beat yourself up about that.
All
But
right.
like,
So that's the first strategy is go
excuse me.
back. Go back to the
hmm
focus on yourself. Is that what you're saying?
Focus on yourself and then focus on your own timeline. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that like, most likely you have an idea of what you want. You're not on anybody else's timeline. These timelines that you feel like you're supposed to be on are other people's or systems timelines. They are not the timeline that is unique to you.
Yeah.
The ones
Yes.
where like like anytime, like I once had like an actual batch of clients who were women who had like achieved C-suite positions, and meaning they were executives in corporate America. And they were coming to me for coaching because they felt miserable. They're like, this is all I ever wanted since I've been playing Barbies or Tonka trucks or whatever it is. Like, I was told, this is where you go. This is your goal. Now I am here and there is nothing here for me. Right. Which is sad. It's also awesome. They made it there. But like, it's sad because they've been working on this timeline that wasn't theirs. They've been comparing themselves to whatever message they got at whatever age. They are comparing themselves to like whoever was already in that C-suite while they were working their way up, and like thinking, oh, those people are so satisfied with their lives. Look at them. They're successful. They have families, whatever it is, right? They're driving that beautiful car, whatever it is. And then you get to that and you're miserable. And what I want to say is there's nothing wrong with you. And in fact, it is amazing that you are able to swim kind of upstream on somebody else's timeline and reach where you I mean, really, honestly, the tenacity that takes.
Yeah.
If you feel miserable, it's time to pause and define your own timeline. Or return to it. And I think defining your own timeline is perfectly fine. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you're at, what you're doing with your life. Like, really, if you don't already know your timeline, it's time to pause and define it yourself. And it's something that you can do in coaching. You do not have to hire a coach, but it is something that is really fun to do with a coach. And hard work.
And it helps to have someone reflect back to you, you know, like that might be what's going on. So as we said, but you can do it in a journal too.
Yeah, you can do it in a journal. You can like really, and it doesn't, it's not a big project. Just be like, this is where I'm at right now. This is how I feel right now. How do I want to feel? And then what are the places where I have felt that before? And how can I manifest that now? Like, what does that look like now for me? And moving towards that, right?
So you were mentioning your clients who are noticing that the timeline is messed up, you know, and I have had clients who are comparing themselves to an idea of what they should have. So it's not necessarily a getting there on time problem. It's more of a, this is what it's supposed to look like in my mind. And I'm comparing my reality, my real experience of something compared to a fantasy. And it's never gonna, you know, live up to the fantasy. You know, people are doing this in relationships. They have a relationship that they are in and are pretty happy with, but they are comparing it to what they thought it should be like, or what they think a partner should do for them. And so, as you're suggesting, I'm hearing, come back to your own reality of what you want for yourself, like your timeline, your goals, your objectives and desires for yourself. Versus either a made up or imposed idea of what it should be. I love that.
I think that is, I mean, that is the deal, right? Like, we have all these implied timelines. It doesn't even have to be Sally B practically. Like, it doesn't have to be an actual person in your life that has something that you think you should have and makes you feel like a loser, whatever. It is also all of this like made up idea, this fantasy of what it should be like. Like, I, for a long time in my life, was like, relationships should look like they look like on movies and television, because that was really kind of the reference I had for relationships, right? And I remember the moment when someone said to me, you know, relationships can be really hard. I was like, relationships are
no.
You're supposed to be in love. It's a romantic comedy. You get through the conflict at the beginning. Everything else is hunky-dory, you know, like really, like, I can make fun of it now, but like, it is like kind of what I was basing everything on. So like, I would be in relationship, something, I would hit up against something. I'd be like, oh, this is the wrong person for me. Or, and while that can be true, like, there also is like, no, like, I am some imagined fantasy, literal, like fiction is the timeline I think I should be on, or it should be what I have,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be like a
Yeah.
comparison to an actual person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
also the idea of just giving yourself grace. Like there are ways in which some people are behind their peers or have something different than their peers. Like,
You're
I
yeah.
have an experience of getting sober at the age of 30 and having time and guidance to reflect back and understand that I spent a good decade and a half of my life really kind of focused on how to have fun and drink, and be the party girl,
Yeah.
rather than focusing in on like, what do I want for my career or for my life? And
Yeah.
so often, even now, well into this process, I have this built-in grace of like, oh, I am behind my peers, the peers who are like, oh, I'm looking at the last decade of my working years and what I need to do to like finish off my retirement plan, where I'm like, okay, well, I'm like 10 years behind you even thinking
Yeah.
about that. Or like
Yeah.
it doesn't even occur to me because that's just not where I'm at in
Yeah.
my life. Yes, I want to retire, and yes, I will retire.
Yeah.
But like I just have some grace of like, oh, I'm a little, I mean, in
Yeah.
some ways I am a little less mature.
And
That's
in
not
some ways, you're more
necessarily true.
mature from your
Like,
experiences, to be
yeah,
fair.
like I am less mature in life experience
Yeah.
that lead me to this place. I'm also, by the way, that idea of I'm in my last decade of um, working and looking towards retirement, like I really have had this very different life path. I have not had anything that seems traditional
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
in my life. So, like,
Mhm.
on top of like alcoholism
Mm.
and getting sober and having that process kind of feeling like practically
Yeah.
behind,
Yeah.
like I also have been blazing this trail that is a lot different than
Yeah.
what a lot of my, I don't know, I wouldn't say at this point peers, but people who are my age are
Yeah.
looking at.
Yeah.
And so there are those of us who, like Annie is one of those too, has like been blazing a trail for herself, for
Mm.
themselves, and
Yeah.
remembering that too, and
Yeah.
also celebrating it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because I
Mhm.
think it's really important to acknowledge that sometimes we are starting 20 steps behind the start line,
Yeah.
right? That everybody started here, and for one reason or another, what you're born into, something that happened in your life,
Yeah.
choices you've made, you are on a different timeline. You are
Mhm.
technically, like, if you're going to compare, yes, you are behind them. That doesn't mean that you're behind. You are where you are on your path.
Yeah.
So in some ways, it's a perspective shift when you are feeling behind, to take away
Mhm.
that front runner and say, well, without them there, I'm actually just where I am. I'm in the race.
Mhm.
I am doing my path. And so giving yourself that actual, it's a reality check. Yes,
Yeah.
I started here. That's why I'm here right now, not here. And I I think you're right. Give yourself grace, and also don't dwell on it. Doesn't
Yeah.
You can change how you're talking about it too. You don't have to say I'm behind. You can
Mm.
just say I'm on a different track. I'm
Yeah.
on my track. And if I think about your track, then I'm not on my track anymore, and I need to be on my track in order to get where I want to go.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're not gonna get anywhere focused on somebody else's track, and, like,
Yeah.
even in this conversation, I shifted from, like, "I'm behind"
Yeah.
language to, like, "I'm just on my own path."
Yeah.
It's this
Yeah.
built-in grace of, like, I had these life circumstances that
Yeah.
make me often feel like I'm behind anyway, but that's not actually true. I'm just on my own path.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I think you've told me before about the other remedy you have for getting out of the compare despair spiral. And
Mhm.
it's to help you remember what it is you actually, what your path is. So
Yes.
tell them about that. Tell them what that is.
Well, I always lean into, like, these really quick slogans that's how my brain works.
Mhm.
So, like, the idea of, like, "Oh, I'm in compare and despair," like, creates a pause for me,
Yeah.
so that's
It
one
like is
thing.
a
It's like,
reconnect. Yeah.
reconnect. But one thing I will encourage clients to do is document what it is they want or what it is they want to feel in their life. I do this also with a values exercise where you create a wallet card.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, you have what you want to feel on one side and what your values are on the other. But if you're feeling glitchy,
Mm-hmm.
you pull that card out and you look at it and be like, what am I not honoring? Where am I, what am I not focusing in on that is mine and my path?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then just ask yourself, what is the smallest thing I can do to come back into alignment, to come back to myself?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not this imagined timeline and not Sally B's timeline,
Mm-hmm. I love that.
What is it that I can do to come to myself and then
Yeah.
take that action as quick as possible?
Yeah. Yeah. You need a
Um,
reset.
You need a reset. And you
Yeah.
also need to treat yourself with as much love and compassion as you can, because we are all doing this.
Yeah.
We are all comparing ourselves and bringing ourselves back. And,
Yeah.
you're not alone.
Yeah. And I think it is a way of, like we've said multiple times, but it's a way of staying stuck or staying hungry that serves our society and doesn't serve us.
Yes.
So I would just thinking this out loud, be selfish, be on your own path and be really committed to your own path. Love your own path so much that you wouldn't want to be on someone else's path.
Yeah.
Pick what you want and be self-sovereign and be selfish about being in your own reality and be discerning and choose what you really want so that you're going to be excited about going toward it.
Yeah.
So even if you get a teeny bit off track with some comparison and despair, you can easily get back in and remember what you love about where you're going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it can be as easy or as simple, also complex, and where are my feet? Where am I at right now? I'm at my desk. I'm with Annie. I am honoring my value of being in community, of being of service.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. In my coaching, I will say, well, what do you know is true right now? So what is true? And it's just a way of getting the conversation and the mind to start to be creative and start thinking of things differently and maybe opening up to a new perspective and a new solution to an old problem.
Right. And if I was your client and you said, you asked me that question, I said, well, I know to be true that I'm very far behind on what I should be doing in my life,
Right.
As a coach, that's a pretty big red flag.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah.
You get curious about what's actually true about that.
Is it actually a time management problem or is it a comparison problem?
Right. Yeah. We talked a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, actually, about the idea that we start to think that we have a time, rather than a comparison issue, we have a time management issue. And it's do you though?
Yeah. Is it really? I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
but following the steps that you've outlined, I think, can really help with that. Coming back to what you actually want, what your timeline actually is, can tell you if it's a time management problem or if it's just a comparison problem.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with being I want something like that in my life, but you always really to be able to create that for yourself, you have to make a return to what is true for me today and how can I get to what does that feel like to me?
Yes.
And moving forward.
Yeah.
Annie, what would you suggest somebody do?
I mean, I'm always in the journaling. I'm a big fan of journaling. So when you're in this compare despair place, I think if I were doing this without a trusted advisor to talk to, I think I would sit down with my journal and as you said, state what's true. And then I would ask those open-ended questions that we talked about in a different podcast that begin with what or how, not black and white or yes and no questions. What is it like for you to be upset about this thing? Or what part of this is feeling bad to you. And
Mhm.
just keep asking those questions and digging deeper into it. And then asking also those questions of what's true or what's not true. And often it's sort of a conversation with your subconscious, right? So I will suggest people use a pen for writing questions and a pencil for writing the answers that you're hearing. And
Yeah.
I also really highly suggest that people write the thoughts that come to mind first and quickly, and
Mhm.
work with what those are instead of overthinking it, because your brain does have this like backlog file system of all the things it knows and all the experiences you've had. And if you give it the task of sorting things out, it will, if you let it do its job, you
Mm.
will get surprising and interesting answers from yourself if
Yeah.
you just go of overthinking it or trying to control it.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, trying to control it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what this also is about, right? Comparing is sort of trying to control things instead of
Mhm.
being in a process that your process is where you're headed. You may not be there yet. You may be
Mhm.
encountering difficulties or roadblocks, but be in the process rather than trying to control outcomes all the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, that's what reorganizing the already organized drawer is all about,
it's
right?
true.
It's what
Yeah,
I know. It's
yeah,
what I can control.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
safe.
yeah, yeah. It's true.
And I just really, really, really encourage everybody to quit organizing that drawer.
It's true. I love your tip. So I love your tip about when you
Mhm.
hear that little voice saying you're not on time, you're not at the place where you should be. It's
Mhm.
definitely a cue that you should check out whether you are comparing. Um,
Mhm.
I love that that can be like the thing that makes you think about it differently.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite thing that you said today.
Yeah, thanks. I would really like to know anybody who is watching this video, like, do you find yourself comparing to other timelines or what other people have in their life? And like, how do you interrupt it? What are some of the tools that you use? Like, can we
Yeah,
do some skill sharing in the comment section? I think
that would be great.
there's got to be as many tools as there are ways to compare ourselves,
Yeah,
right? And I
yeah,
would love that.
yeah,
And then if you
yeah,
like this video, follow us.
yeah.
We're going to
Come
post
along.
more.
Yeah.
We're going to stay
Thanks
in
for being here.
conversation.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
All
I
right.
really
Thank
appreciate it,
you.
Dina. Thanks
Yes.
for doing this. All right. Bye.